Win 6-5 a few days ago over Aruba, and now both teams a win away from making the international championship game. Here's the lineup for West Seoul Little League A from South Korea. Min-Soo Kim has led them in this tournament 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, had one of those home runs in the Australia 10-0 win. And Kim's the one to lead it off against today's starting pitcher for Puerto Rico, Sebastian Casanova.
Favorite movie is... Did you catch that favorite movie, Sam?
No, hit me with it. What was it?
That's why I asked you. If I saw it, I would have told you.
Well, his dream job is...
That's all on you, because I'm not pronouncing that thing.
Casanova. His dream job was that, what you just saw.
You want to pronounce it?
I'm not sure. 2-1. That one hits the zone for a called strike 2 on Min-Soo Kim.
Start with an A.
F1 the movie.
F1 the movie.
Racing fan. Casanova starts it off with a called third strike, and he puts down the first batter of this ball game. Already seeing the heat from Casanova and what he's got on the mound.
And Sam's not talking about the heat outside. He's talking about the heat on this fastball from Casanova.
Agronomist, a scientist who specializes in crop production, soil management, and sustainable agricultural practices to optimize food and resource efficiency.
Well, he's close to the right area already.
Yeah.
We're up in Northern California here.
Got some farms nearby.
Big ones.
Cho down 0-2 already. West Seoul A Little League, a dominant Little League in this tournament, but Casanova doesn't care. He's put down the first 2 batters on strikes, both looking. He's got the heat and he's got the location too.
There's absolutely nothing Joe's going to be able to do with that. It's right on the outside part corner of the plate.
2 up and 2 down for Sebastian Casanova. Seoha Kim, the new batter for South Korea. His pitch down low, 2 balls, no strikes. South Korea in this tournament has made 3 of the last 4 championship games. And they've won this tournament 3 times. Last year they did not make the championship after losing to Venezuela in the international semifinal.
Of course, Venezuela went on to win it all, beating Hawaii, a real good Hawaiian team.
3-0 on Kim is right down the pipe for a called strike 1. Another beautiful day in Northern California, Livermore, 87 degrees. As we kick things off on the international side of the bracket, back-to-back strikes from Casanova and a full count on Kim. Not a cloud in the sky.
There's got to be one somewhere.
We'll keep looking. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sebastian Casanova starts off his day by striking out the side. Over Czechia. So far, 1-0 in the Little League Intermediate Baseball. And Santana had a solid game in that one. 1 for 2. He brought home 4 runs against Czechia. They'll face a big righty. Hyunjin Kim gets the ball for. Looking for strikes out of him. A good fastball. He's also got a strong curveball and has tight control as well. Il-Nam Lee, the manager for South Korea. On the Puerto Rico side, Leonardo Ortiz Torres. Kim's favorite movie, Home Alone.
How about that one?
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for Puerto Rico, number 14, Sebastian.
It's a classic.
Alone.
Sam, you're like, that's kind of like your life, right? Home Alone?
Oh, whoa.
Right?
Not quite. Colon steps in to lead things off for Puerto Rico.
Well, you and your bobbleheads.
I've got plenty of those.
Yeah, there you go. My bad. How dare I forget those?
Yeah, right about 40 of them. Cologne takes the first pitch breaking ball, and there's the curve from Kim. Starts off the at-bat, 1 ball, no strikes. Cologne, one of the more athletic kids on this Puerto Rico team, the shortstop. Ball and a strike. Talking with Puerto Rico interpreter Henry Cruz Diaz, who also was the interpreter last year for Venezuela, the champions. And this coaching staff is really big on Sebastian Cologne, but he waves through the fastball from Kim and strikes out swinging. So to start off this game, we've had 4 batters. All of them have struck out.
Well, we talked about the hitting from Puerto Rico and South Korea, but we didn't talk about the pitching of both of their staffs. And we're getting a little glimpse right now. Good arm strength so far on both sides.
We talked about the power from South Korea, especially in their first game against Australia. Il-Nam Lee, their manager, said that it's really been the pitching that's gotten them there.
Well, over the years, that's what it's been for them. Yes, they've had some timely hits, occasionally have some power, but their pitching has been dominant.
2 balls, no strikes on Sebastian Casanova, the pitcher for Puerto Rico. That is a high velo fastball right through the bat of Casanova, 2-1. Next pitch by Kim. Misses, 3-1. It was a run rule win for Puerto Rico over Czechia, 15-2. And for Puerto Rico, with the regional and their 1 game here in Livermore, 4 of their 5 games, they've scored double-digit runs. 3-2. Casanova goes down swinging. So now Kim picks up a pair of strikeouts.
Could we tie a record? First 6 outs of a game would be punch-outs, strikeouts?
I can guarantee you that has not happened in this tournament yet. Look at the way he hides the ball behind his back, too, when he fires.
Sam, the growth on your eyes is tremendous over the years.
Mm-hmm. It brings up Alvarado to try and break this strikeout train. First pitch in there. Oh, 0-1. Fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes on Alvarado. Batting third for the second straight game, had 1 of their 12 singles against Czechia. Kim's 0-2. Throws that curve outside.
Wow. First breaking ball by Kim.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
That one's shot right back up the middle. Alvarado connects for loud contact in a 2-out single.
That right there is an elite pitcher facing an elite hitter, and the elite hitter wins that battle. This ball was dead squared up. This is dead red, hard, middle, squared up in the zone by Alvarado.
He's the first one to square up that fastball from Kim. Keniel Sanchez with a runner on and 2 outs. The batter for Puerto Rico, Juan Antonio Bibiloni, Little League. Out of the zone for ball 1. A Puerto Rico team that was in Williamsport a year ago. Quick pick over to first base. Alvarado's back in time. 9 players from last year's Williamsport team are back in Puerto Rico colors this year in Livermore. Swing and a miss, and off goes Alvarado for second. Throw is there in time, and the tag is applied. Alvarado tagged out at second, trying to steal. And we're through one, no score. Kim, the pitcher for South Korea, takes one up and in. So that bottom half ends on a caught stealing. Alvarado trying to take second. High chopper left side. That's Cologne. Shortstop makes the play. 2 pitches and 1 out.
We're going to go back to that caught stealing that ended the first inning.
Behind the play, this is Soha Kim with a throw.
Young-Hin Cho is the shortstop. Where's the finger? It's a close one.
It just got him on that finger before it hit the bag. And the inning came to a close. Kang Min Kim, a check swing, bouncer picked up by Casanova. Out of his hand quickly. He's thrown 3 pitches and gotten the first 2 outs of the inning. An unsure swing by Kim, and it goes right back to the pitcher.
Otherwise known as an excuse me swing. I didn't really want to, but I did. Now I got to run. Casanova says you better run.
First pitch out of the zone on Sung Hyun Moon. 5 up and 5 down for Sebastian Casanova.
Now his favorite baseball team is the Red Sox. I'm wondering if it was his favorite team in April and May. Nobody's been hotter than them, the Red Sox, in the past 40 days in MLB.
Incredible month of July.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Play.
I believe tied the longest winning streak in franchise history, 15.
And then I believe they set a record for wins in a month. I believe. Not for sure.
Casanova looking for back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. A waste pitch on 2 strikes, 2 and 2. South Korea overall, in the times they've met Puerto Rico in this tournament, they lead the all-time series 9-2. Pitch just misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I think catchers just sit up behind the dish, don't have to be athletic. Think again. What's Adornia on here? This ball is a good 2 feet on the outside part. Gets his quick hands out there.
Josen Ortiz, he's got his name written right on the catcher's mask. Payoff. Hit the other way, base hit for South Korea. Moon provides the first base knock. A 2-out base runner in the top of the second.
There goes the no-hitter.
It was 5 up and 5 down for Casanova, and Moon just flips this one the other way.
That's all you got to do when the pitcher is providing all the power, how hard Casanova is throwing. Get the barrel out to the ball.
Kang Yul Kim trying to drop a bunt down, and he got hit with it. Pulls the bat back, gets hit, and now it's 2 on with 2 outs for South Korea. A little bit of trouble now for Casanova trying to get out of the second. And Jihan Lee, the second baseman for South Korea, the new batter. They pick back over to second base as they check on Moon. Lee drives one right center field. That'll drop. Moon gets the wave around third. Good throw. The tag at home. He's out. Ortiz puts on the tag. The throw from right center gets him at home, and the inning ends. South Korea possibly challenging this final play of the inning. But what a strike. Luis Lozada, the right fielder, just fired that one in a little high, but Ortiz brought it down. And as of right now, it's the third out.
Well, we'll get a look at it. And this is actually Alvarado, the center fielder, who throws a rocket into Adorno. Tag goes down. All right, here we go. Our sign guys are awake in right center, I'm sure. Where is the foot?
That is as close as you can get right there.
Good luck, because Adorno's blocking. Let's see what this look shows us. Tags down.
I think he got him before that foot got in.
Again, if you're going to overturn this, you have to be certain. You see his foot right there. Where's the glove? Great. Our truck is once again spotless in these immaculate replays. That last look right there was tremendous. Right there, his foot is not on the plate. Glove is on the leg. It was well worth, in our opinion. Sure looks like the call is going to stand, but it's well worth a review by South Korea, because you just don't know when these two powerhouses are playing each other how many runs are going to win a game.
Zariel Alvarado with the strike from right center, and Ortiz with a first-class tag right here.
Another look. The gloves on, and we can see the foot up in the air before the plate. The sign guys in right center, if you're not familiar with who they are, they're three gentlemen that have been showing up for many years out here. We named them the sign guys, and that's their call. They're 14 for 17. You see that's disputed, and it's rightly disputed. I mean, seriously. I mean, sometimes we hear they're 17 for 18, then now they're 14 for 17.
They're going to advocate for whatever.
That look right there, that's, I mean, how many tremendous looks can our crew and camera crew and production and the truck give us right there? The foot's still up, by the way, because his heel, his toes above the plate, but his heel is short of the dish. The glove is right now on his left knee.
Well, Wes, we talk about how close we expect this game to be between two extremely competitive teams, and we are likely about to have two outs on the base paths because these teams know it's going to be tight, and they're trying to find runs wherever they can.
Right, but right there, we've seen we've seen at least a couple that you can ascertain that the foot is not at the plate, and the glove is on the left knee.
Look at Corey Russell. Corey Russell, the home plate umpire, with the look, makes the out call. Heath Messenger's at first base. Jamie Hinojosa at second. Victor Andino, the third base umpire. But Russell right there waits to make the call. Bam. And they'll stick with it. After review, the call is confirmed, and the inning comes to a close. Alvarado throws a strike to Ortiz, and they tag out the runner at home. Tagged out at second base, trying to steal. Kim's back on the mound for his second inning of work. The first pitch. There's a rocket out to right center. Moon is right there. He puts it away. One pitch and one out to begin the Puerto Rico half of the second.
Well, you mentioned Puerto Rico's Alvarado getting thrown out to end the inning, previous inning. Alvarado is the one who threw that laser to the dish and said, you know what, I'll throw somebody out.
Yeah. Takes matters into his own hands. And Josen Ortiz was the catcher that put on the tag. He's up now. Sends one straight in the air, left side. Cho, the shortstop, tracks it down. Well, there is a little bit of wind here. Looks like it's blowing out toward the left field corner. And Cho had to move quite a bit to be able to put this one away. There's the wind on the flags out in left center field.
Well, yesterday, Sam, what did we have? About 6 pop-ups that well, I should say they started to look like fly balls. They ended up, 2 of them ended up in the infield bouncing, but nobody touched the ball.
Those have been tough to see all tournament.
Well,
Yabdiel LeBoy, the new batter.
Roast pork with rice and pigeon peas. Now, I got to tell you, the last thing there lost me.
Pigeon. I've never heard of a pigeon pea.
Well, there's good reason, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you can sell me on that one.
First part was good.
3 balls, no strikes on LeBoy, who wants to make Kim work a little bit. He got the first 2 outs on 2 pitches. This will be his 22nd pitch of the ball game. And it's a 4-pitch walk on LeBoy. A 2-out base runner once again for Puerto Rico. They struck out twice in the first before Alvarado singled. And now a 2-out walk to LeBoy. Brings up Jedrick Sepulveda.
Sepulveda was outstanding in second base playing defense in his previous game. I thought he made a play that would have been on top 10 Sports Center, but it didn't make it.
Yeah, we talk about that play from Sepulveda against Czechia. He was at second base, slid and stopped a ground ball, and then had to run to the first base bag, dive, and put his glove on the bag, and got there in time. Strike 1. Leonardo Ortiz Torres, the manager for Puerto Rico, said that it was just an outstanding play by his second baseman. Really impressed with the glove work. Foul tip.
Aruba and South Korea had an amazing extra inning game, didn't they?
Yeah, 6-5. South Korea won that one in extras. They pick back over to first. Aruba plated 1 in their half of the 8th inning, and then South Korea scored 2 to win it. Called strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Kim. Puerto Rico leaves 1. Scoreless through 2. Clements with you on this Wednesday afternoon. Hard hit ball immediately to begin the top of the 3rd inning by Seo-Jun Choi. 1 pitch, and he's on with a single to lead things off.
Choi aggressive on pitch 1. Let's see what South Korea elects to do here with a runner first and no outs.
That is their 3rd hit so far. A couple of singles in the 2nd. After the top of their order went down on strikes in the 1st inning on Sebastian Casanova.
Well, you see Morales at third base and Puerto Rico playing way in on the grass. Puerto Rico expecting a bunt. And again, you will see this all the way up at the highest level of baseball in South Korea and in the KBO. They will bunt runners over consistently.
Seong-Hoo Kim puts one down foul. And it's a ball and a strike as they try and move over Choi. In what could be a game where runs are pretty tough to scrape across. Already had 2 outs on the base paths.
Toughest thing about bunting, when you start to learn at this age, is to be able to distinguish between a sacrifice bunt and a bunt for a base hit. A lot of times the kids get stuck in between.
Bunted foul.
So where they want to bunt and run instead of making sure the bunt is down in the right location, because as a bunter in a situation where you're sacrificing, you're giving yourself up. You assume you're going to be out. So just take the time and locate the bunt. Keep the barrel above the ball.
1-2. Kim puts it down. Fair this time. Picked up by Casanova. Only play is to first. A sacrifice bunt by Kim, and it moves Choi into scoring position. West, he gets aggressive here with 2 strikes, but still puts down a quality bunt and does his job.
Yeah, well, this is good PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. Gets the bunt down. South Korea kept the bunt on with 2 strikes. Casanova, good throw. You can't see it right there on that look right there, but let's see what they're going to do. What are they thinking about right here? Oh.
Let's take a look at what we got here.
Well, check the runner. He's inside the box, so he's okay. But you see at the top of your screen, you see Casanova, the shortstop. He recognizes that nobody's at third base, and he hustles over there. We talked about both of these clubs. They're very, very good, solid clubs on both ends, offense and defense. High IQ baseball players. For that matter, the entire tournament, or they wouldn't be here. This discussion here, wouldn't you like to know what they were talking about?
Oh, is it something that happened with Choi when he rounded second? Now they're talking with the South Korea coaching staff. Maybe there was something that happened toward the second base bag when Choi rounded it, because he did take a pretty good curve off that bag after the bunt and the out was made. It's a South Korea team that was very active on the bases against Aruba. 7 stolen bases. They were caught 3 times. But I'm guessing, if anything, that's probably what they're talking about. Something that happened when Choi rounded second.
Well, if there's any contact whatsoever, we're going to get a look. Casanova's a shortstop. He's expecting possible play, and that right there, I believe, could be. You see him pointing. If there's contact.
Hey, we're back in, ladies and gentlemen. Minor technical difficulties have been taken care of. As you can see, the previous play is being discussed between the managers and the.
So now our crew is going to discuss this one over again.
Okay, so here's what.
This one's going to review, and I think exactly what they're looking at is what we just saw.
Well, was there contact? You cannot, number one, get in the way of any base runner as a defensive player, and then Casanova was expecting the force play. The runner. Here we go. We'll get a look at it again. Well, here, this is an iffy one for me, because the runner is putting out his left hand almost to try and touch Casanova.
That like it was a little jersey tug or something.
Well, that said, there was no intention at all of the base runner going to third. None.
All right, this is where we need to have the umpire mic'd up here. They can announce their call, whatever it is. Because I don't know if we'll get something definitive here.
I'm not sure we'd want to hear this right now. But again, you have to also look at what you see, but then also interpret what the runner was going to do. And right here, the runner for South Korea, in my opinion, had no intention of going to third. What he did is he put his left arm out. Casanova did not. Casanova was moving to go to third because he recognized nobody was at third, because his third baseman Morales had crashed on the bunt. But this is not an egregious at all. This is a runner sticking his left arm out to make the contact.
So both coaches have been talked to. And now they're talking with Choi on second base. Sung-Hoo Kim has the bat back in his hands.
This is a judgment call. I think they asked for a review, but this is a judgment call. You cannot review this call. This is not reviewable.
Are we talking about a balk? Potentially now, because Kim is back.
Well, no. The ball needs to get put in. No, he's runners at second base.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So he would get on second because of a balk. Kim is back up. Kim was the one that had the sacrifice bunt.
What on earth are we doing here?
So Kim had the sacrifice bunt. We were looking at the whole scenario at second base. Kim has the bat back in his hands. Sung-Hoo Kim, I should say. Choi is at second. I think the only thing that we can talk about here is a potential balk call. So it's going to go back to a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Kim.
All right, here we go. Pitcher has to set. Okay.
So that's what it was.
Well, this is not, if they called that a balk, I mean, it's not obvious for me that that's, if he's been consistent with the set and that's where he's setting.
All right, 1-2 pitch on Kim. Here it is. He tries to put the bunt down and fouls it back. There were 2 strikes, and he's going to go down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So on the balk, it was a 2-strike pitch. He put the bunt down in fair ground. What we thought was a sacrifice bunt ends up being a balk call. Tries to put it down again on 2 strikes. Doesn't work. 1 out. And that was about 10 minutes on 1 play. Here's Ji-Hoo Shin, the second to last batter in this order. First pitch inside part of the plate, called strike 1. There's Choi. He got to second not because of the sacrifice bunt, but because of a balk.
We think.
Right. Lifted out toward right field. Lozada won't be able to get to it. Choi gets to third. A bloop single for Ji-Hoo Shin. Runners on the corners for South Korea, 1 away.
Well, this ball, again, when you put the ball in play, it doesn't have to be hit hard, just has to be hit in the right spot. And this right here is just like a pitching wedge that lands right next to the flag. Now,
and this is Jung-Am Kim with runners on the corners.
there's just a lot going on right here on the defensive side here. And this is where Puerto Rico is well aware that South Korea will safety squeeze in this situation with the bottom of their lineup at any point in time. They create runs in all options, some that you haven't seen in the major leagues in years.
Throw back over to first, and Choi dancing off the third base bag. And that causes LeBoy to run the ball all the way back to the pitcher. Again, 7 stolen bases for South Korea in their win over Aruba. Off goes the runner at first, swing and a miss. And Shin will cruise into second. That's their first stolen bag today. Second and third now with an 0-2 count. Pitch by Casanova. Kim fouls it back to the screen.
Good job by Kim just staying alive right now. regardless of what happens, unless Kim lines into a double play, top of the lineup for South Korea is coming up in this inning.
And that's their leadoff man on deck, Min-Soo Kim, who's been their top hitter in this tournament so far. 3 for 5 with a trio of RBIs. He's waiting to do some damage. Next up, infield slightly in for Puerto Rico. The 0-2. Kim lays off a breaking ball. Ortiz trying to find it.
Well, sometimes a lot of people complain about umpires, and sometimes it's not very nice to do that. But in this case,
that just rolls down his leg.
Yeah, that was.
Kim reaches out and pokes one foul and stays alive in the at-bat.
It's a great at-bat by Kim. Last hitter in the lineup, looking like he's second leadoff hitter for South Korea. Battling, fighting against Casanova.
Swing and a miss. Casanova puts him down on strikes. His 5th strikeout. And there's 2 down with 2 on.
Well, this is Casanova just went right back to his high heat on the outside part. And you see Kim, the frustration. He knew he swung at a ball. Just wonder, Sam, you talked about Kim, the leadoff hitter for South Korea, being the best hitter in this tournament so far with first base open. You mess with him?
Number 18, Min-Soo Kim.
Casanova got the better of him the first time they faced. A strikeout looking to begin the ball game. Min-Soo Kim already has 3 RBIs for this series. Wave and a miss on strike 1. So Jun Choi is on third. Ji-Hoon Shin is on second. Oh, 1. Popped up. And Ortiz, the catcher, doesn't have a play. It goes behind the backstop. Casanova has Kim down 0-2 once again.
Well, he's got him set up for a fastball away. First 2 pitches are fastball in. He's got him set up to throw something on the outside part. They're going right back inside.
Foul back.
But I tell you what, there's a reason why Kim has been a stellar hitter for South Korea in this tournament. And on the way to this tournament, he's made an adjustment already on the ball in that Casanova's throwing him. That was a much better swing.
Just outside. Casanova barely misses, looking for his 6th strikeout today. He'll regroup and do it again.
Well, now he's put a seed in Kim's mind. I might throw you away now instead of in.
That time he got him. Casanova strikes out the final 2 batters with South Korea threatening. And hitter for Puerto Rico. Kim zips in his 29th pitch of his outing in for a strike. Puerto Rico in this tournament for the first time in 2 years. In Williamsport last year with this little league. Solorio gets tied up. Puerto Rico also went to Williamsport in 1999. They lost in the International Championship to Japan. That was the best performance by a Puerto Rican team in Little League World Series history.
By the way, if you're watching, yes, it's early morning in South Korea. But if you're watching and a watch party, anything, and or in Puerto Rico, group of people you see top left of the screen, those are our X handles / Twitter. Hit us up, send us a video, and you could end up on TV. been very light this year, though, with the watch parties.
Well, I'll tell you something in a minute. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch.
Are you going to disappoint me?
Blowing
and
outside.
Say that
No.
You miss a lot of things?
You are not going to believe who followed me on Instagram
Oh, boy.
6 hours ago.
Go ahead.
Aruba Open Championships. It's a beach tennis Instagram page. Swing and a miss. High heat from Kim. He puts down Solorio. His 4th strikeout today.
I'm really not sure that's something to brag about.
Let's see this one more time.
Well, I tell you what, this is just some high gas from Kim. See the tumbling of this fastball, but yeah, Sam, I'm not sure that's something to brag about, really.
We were talking about.
I mean, you got followed. I get it. And then that's where. What'd you say? Beach tennis?
Yeah, well, we were talking about it because there was somebody on Aruba's team that liked playing beach tennis. And we were trying to figure out what that was. And next thing you know, it's like the official Aruba beach tennis page. And we're connected now. So maybe I'll start playing some beach tennis.
There's not a chance you'll be found on a beach, Sam. No way.
I live at the beach.
No.
Swing and a miss on Morales.
No. You're not going on. No.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Look, at all the places, if somebody was actually put an APB out for you, the first place that they would never look.
That ball is stroked out to left field. Morales pulls it through the left side for a single. Second hit for Puerto Rico this afternoon, and Morales tees this one up for a nice line drive.
Now batting for Puerto Rico, number 9.
Well, it's another fastball up in the zone, and we do know one thing. Both of these clubs can swing the bat. Yes, both arms. Strong arms and hard fastballs. But these hitters can square up these fastballs. They make adjustments.
It's 1 out for Fabian Santana. As Puerto Rico works their way through the bottom part of their order. Little lead for Morales off first, and Kim goes over to check. Another pickoff attempt at first base. We talked about how South Korea has been dominant in this tournament with 3 championships in Livermore. Puerto Rico won in 2017. Pitch on Santana. Fastball zips in, called strike 1. Radames Lopez Little League and Guayama, Puerto Rico were champions in 2017.
But the regional and the teams, how many teams in Puerto Rico were there? They had to go through to show up here. Tremendous effort for this team to make it here to Livermore.
They beat Guayama 6-4 in the semifinal of their regional. And now Santana bounces one the other way, picked by Kim, the first baseman. Throw to second, they get the lead runner. And Choi, the shortstop, takes a bit of a tumble. And he is still down in the grass after the slide from Morales. Young-in Cho is down in a bit of pain after this slide.
Well, Kim, the first baseman, gives him a good feed to get the force out. Speaking of Choi at second, we'll get a look at it.
Well, he tried to get off, but that was a hard slide from Morales. He pops the bag off the socket.
It's a late slide by Morales.
The foot gets tangled a little bit.
It's just the foot. Morales needs to slide directly in the bag, which is what he did. There's no malintent from Morales. It's just unfortunate.
So we'll take a timeout as Cho, the shortstop, is down for South Korea. 2 outs, bottom 3, no score. Changes for South Korea as Young-in Cho comes out of the game. The shortstop gets his foot tangled on the bag after the slide from Jadrian Morales. He was the second out of the inning. That's Cho right there. Trying to get loose, maybe come back in this ball game.
Yeah, there is no change.
All right, so he's going back. So South Korea had moved some players over. The player that came in was Ji-hoon Shin. He came in to play third, and there were a few shifts. Well, now Shin's going to come out, and Cho is going to go back to short. Here's the play. As you see that foot get left on the bag, and Morales takes the bag off the socket.
Look at Morales. Morales is like, what's the big deal here? What happened?
Now we're going to have a challenge for South Korea for Puerto Rico potentially batting out of order.
Come on up.
Well, the good thing, Wes, this should be pretty easy to determine.
Okay, so
Hold on. He's checking right now. I asked him what we're asking him for. So he's checking right now.
so this guy, Fabian, it's on 4,
Santana was the last batter.
5, and 10. But according to the screen,
Okay, the screen is not official. The screen is not official.
also the announcer,
It doesn't matter. Whoever they send to the plate. That's why I'm asking. Who comes to the plate is going to be
Santana was the last
official-
batter. He gets out on the fielder's choice, and we apologize. We're trying to pick up these mics and hear the conversation going down underneath us to figure out what exactly they are challenging,
yeah, so we just had a little bit of concert.
We're good, or
which is batting out of order.
we're good? Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so just,
there's no batting out of order.
okay.
We got a ball in the plate. Here we go.
And it's determined that Puerto Rico was in order.
Now batting for Puerto Rico, number 10, Luis Lozada.
All right, so Luis Lozada will be the batter for Puerto Rico, the second to last batter in this order, with 2 outs in the bottom of the third and a runner on base. And he hits one foul off himself for strike 1. Now you see, Wes, the competitiveness between these two teams, trying to find any sort of advantage.
Well, we've had a lot go on. We're just in the bottom of the third and zeros on the board.
Pick back over to first. That's Santana over there reaching on the fielder's choice.
Santana can run a little bit. But Kim behind the dish for South Korea has shown us a good arm.
That's a little blooper. Kim, the first baseman, makes the catch. Soft line drive, and the inning comes to a close. Puerto Rico leaves 1 on, and we take our scoreless game.
For Team Puerto Rico. Through 3 innings, he's already punched out 5 of this powerful South Korean offense, and he's done it with immaculate control.
High pop up in the infield. Ortiz, the catcher, makes the call and makes the catch. He calls off Morales, the third baseman, and says, I got this one.
Well, he did. Now, the former skipper in me would say, Morales, get in there.
With 1 out,
Call
batting
off
for
your
Asia
catcher.
Pacific, number 22, Kim.
Bottom line, get the out. And they did.
That's what they got. On 1 pitch, Casanova's at 46. Saha Kim is 0 for 1, a strikeout swinging on Casanova, and he gets hit on the helmet. First pitch, And he goes down. So this one really zips in and gets a piece of Kim on the helmet. Here comes the South Korea staff to take a look. South Korea banged up a little bit with Cho, who was the last batter, going down in the field.
Well, I tell you what, it's good to see him up on his feet already. But throughout the years, the equipment, the safety equipment for youth baseball and professional baseball, for that matter, has improved so much.
Loss for Kim as he takes first base. A one-out base runner for South Korea. Hyunjin Kim is 0 for 1, a ground out to short.
His teammates behind him were actually clapping for him as well when they knew he was okay.
First pitch in for a strike. And Wes, I think you talk about the safety improvements. Kim's wearing one of those helmets with the face guard. I think that's been huge for baseball as of the last decade.
Well, just the left flap.
Right, the flap.
The left flap.
Off he goes for second. Pitch outside. Throw down by Ortiz. Not in time. Soha Kim takes second base on a steal. First stolen base for South Korea today. Count is 1-1 on Kim. Casanova's pitch. We talk about his 5 strikeouts today, none bigger than the final 2 to end the top of the third. With South Korea having runners on second and third, Casanova puts down the final 2 batters to end the inning. Looked at, called strike 2. Ties it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casanova up over 50 pitches now. His 2-strike pitch. Fouled back.
Well, the fact that that pitch was up in the zone gave Kim an opportunity to match up his barrel just to foul it off. Casanova throws that pitch, that same pitch, but lower.
Inside, Kim spins out of it, full count. Casanova has yet to walk a batter. Fly ball out to right center. Alvarado dives and makes the play.
Every ball that goes up in the air the last 2 days, it's been a mystery at best because the wind is swirling. Alvarado, this looks like just a can of corn, a simple catch, but you can see the closer Alvarado gets to the ball starts to die. Great job by Alvarado.
Now runner takes off for third. Tight throw by Ortiz, not in time. Kim, his second stolen base. He takes second, now he takes third. First pitch was a ball on Kang Min Kim.
It's a little bit more pressure on Adorno, the catcher for Puerto Rico. We obviously know that Kim can run, the runner at third for South Korea. It's imperative that Adorno keeps every ball in front of him.
Inside pitch. Kang Min Kim is 0 for 1. He hit a bouncer back to Casanova in the second inning.
It's danger zone for Puerto Rico.
Fastball for a strike. Casanova's had some big strikeouts already in this game. Letting him go as long as they need. 2-1. That bounces in the dirt, but a good block by Ortiz to keep Seoha Kim on third. It's 6 strikeouts for Casanova. 2 outs, 3-1 pitch. Kim lays off upstairs. That's the first walk for South Korea. Runners on the corners with 2 away.
Well, we've seen it throughout the history here at the tournament. South Korean clubs, first and third, regardless of where they're at in the lineup, they will send the runner at first and make their opponent have to make a play.
Wants Kim over at first base to take off. He does. No throw. Inside strike on Moon. He has one of their 4 base hits, a single in the second. Second and third, 2 outs again for Casanova on the mound. Moon takes ball 1. Three stolen bases in this inning for South Korea. And now Moon flies it the other way. Lozada makes the catch. Once again, Puerto Rico gets out of a jam. South Korea strands runners on second and. Here's Giovancio Rivera. First pitch from Kim is a ball. Rivera is the final batter in the order, and then it's back to the top with Sebastian Colon waiting on deck. Who's going to break this scoreless tie? West, there's been no shortage of action, but no runs crossing the plate yet.
Well, it's an interesting dichotomy between the two clubs. We talked about in the open, right? Puerto Rico had 12 singles in their last game. That's all they had were singles. And we talked about South Korea. They can leave the yard. They can hit home runs.
There's a strike on Rivera. 3 balls and a strike.
And in a pitching matchup, in a pitching duel like we have now, you'd like to think that the team that has guys that can hit home runs would have an advantage, right? Because it's going to be tough based on what we've seen from South Koreans Kim on the mound to put 3 singles, get 3 singles in a row. Puerto Rico does run. They steal bases.
Kim's only given up 2 hits in his 3 innings. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. 3-2 on Rivera. Hard hit ball off the glove of Lee. Second baseman gathers it, throws not in time. That'll be a single for Rivera to lead off the Puerto Rico 4th. Lee gives a good effort here, but.
Well, it's Rivera out of the box. Lee, to your point, Sam, good effort. Rivera out of the box, smelling a hit. Take a look at this is what it looks like when you can smell a hit.
He sends Puerto Rico to the top of the order with a runner on. Sebastian Colon bunts it over to third. Kim picks it up. Throw to first, not in time. 2 on for Puerto Rico with no outs. Colon beats out the throw off the bunt.
Well, you talked about bunting, right? It's all about location, and this is a perfectly executed bunt by Colon. But then you factor in the speed of Colon, and just like that, Puerto Rico has first and second and no outs for the time being. We might have a challenge.
Again, so let's remind, South Korea has already used a challenge. They lost.
Right.
They've got 1 more challenge to go. If they lose this one, unless there's extra innings, they'll get 1.
Well, here we go. Sign guys back up to work in right center.
The sign guy is getting very, very busy.
Well, just from our vantage point, Wes, looked pretty clear cut that he beat the throw.
Well, here's the thing. Nothing is what our eyes show us. A lot of times it's not clear cut. But to your point, if I was Puerto Rico, I would be feeling pretty secure on the as far as the eye test goes. Now, our truck will give us some immaculate looks at this.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
He's on the bag. The ball's in the air.
No doubt.
It should not take very long.
Well, in West, let's talk about the actual bunt, too, because that was textbook from Cologne.
Well, it was, but because the fact that Cologne's a left-handed, because Cologne is a left-handed hitter, he's already got a step out of the box when he lays his ball down. Boy, Puerto Rico, you see the sign guys got safe, safe, safe. There was some controversy with them yesterday. They had 2 safe or 2 outs and 1 safe, and then somebody had to flip the card.
Well, we got the unofficial call. Here comes the official call from our umpiring crew. They've had their work cut out for them in this game, that's for sure. Yep. 2 on, nobody out.
All right. Now's where the strategy starts for Puerto Rico and South Korea. How they're going to defend first and second and no outs with Casanova coming up. If you're Puerto Rico, do you bunt your number 2 hitter and move the runners up to second and third, which would bring up your number 3 hitter, Alvarado? Let's see how South Korea is going to elect to play. Both of their corners at first and third are in on the grass, so they're expecting a bunt from Casanova.
Struck out swinging on Kim his first time up in the opening frame.
It might do an inside move, South Korea, from Kim, just to see if Casanova shows that he's going to bunt.
Kim's going to step off, and here's where
that right there was the confusion, because I believe Kim thought they might have a play that he needed to do, and he got a little bit confused. The minute his shortstop, Cho, backed off a second base is when Kim thought something was wrong.
And also just trying to break any momentum that Puerto Rico can build as well after back-to-back hits in 2 different ways. It's Puerto Rico fans starting to make some noise.
This is a good lesson for all the kids out there watching. If you're confused out there on the mound, you're not sure, take the time out, call out your teammates instead of doing something that could be wrong.
Casanova, the pitcher for Puerto Rico, in a big spot. Kim will go back to first. Checks on Cologne. Rivera's on second base. Is Puerto Rico going to be the team that scores first in this game? Here's the pitch. Casanova swings away, rolls one right side. It's picked up by Lee, the second baseman. He gets the out with Kim at first crashing in. But Casanova still moves runners to second and third, so effectively a bunt. But he went ahead and swung away at that pitch.
So this is interesting. So South Korea is expecting a bunt. Now you see the first baseman, Kim, crashing to field the bunt. The second baseman, Kim, is en route to cover first base because of a bunt, but the ball is hit directly to Kim. How fortunate is South Korea there?
Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time.
My goodness.
Didn't think he was going to be picking up the baseball, but he does and makes the play for out number 1. Mound visit for South Korea.
Sure, this is all about who do you want to pitch to? You want to pitch to Alvarado or you want to pitch to Sanchez? First base is open, and they're going to play the infield in, it looks like, South Korea. Is baseball any fun? I mean, these are 2 elite teams, and we're seeing why. This is good stuff. This is
Alvarado had a single his first time up. 1 for 3 against Czechia a few days ago. Infield in for South Korea. First pitch. Up and away. Wow. Foul.
That's just good old-fashioned baseball right here. That's fun right there. Alvarado gets a fastball up in the zone, and Kim threw some cheese high up in the zone. If that ball's any bit lower, it could end up in the trees. Alvarado's already squared up one right through the middle for a line drive earlier in the game.
The 1-1 pitch. That one misses. Kenny Sanchez on deck. Kim trying to navigate the inning and keep this one scoreless. 2-1. To the backstop. That goes right back to Kim, the catcher. Runners stay, but it's 3-1 on Alvarado. Kim has been going around the zone ever since the foul ball from Alvarado.
Yeah, that pitchers they can see what a hitter's swing looks like.
Green light. Alvarado hits one deep the other way. Kim backing up. The right fielder makes the catch, but deep enough to bring home Rivera, and Puerto Rico takes the first lead of this game. In the bottom of the fourth, Alvarado hits a sacrifice fly. Puerto Rico plates their first run.
Well, it's a great job by Alvarado. We talked about all of the hitters up and down the lineup for Puerto Rico, but we talked about Alvarado. Hit a rocket up the middle his first at bat. Got a 3-1 fastball middle, a little bit high. Hits it deep enough for the sacrifice fly. Another big rundown at third base for Puerto Rico.
It is Kenny Sanchez 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. 2 outs in the inning. Colon on third.
Huge rundown at third for Puerto Rico.
And Sanchez hits one backhanded by Kim, the third baseman. What a play! South Korea holds Puerto Rico to just 1 run, and Kim down the line makes the stop. 1-0 Puerto Rico after 4.
Bring it in, Old Dominion. We know that it takes hard work to be the best in the game. It starts up front.
And Wes, we already got a good look at his arm on that strike from center field to home that caught a South Korea runner trying to score.
He threw a rocket from right center, but you mentioned that Casanova threw 62 pitches. In this tournament, there's pitch limits that if you go 66, I believe, is that right?
Well, the 66 would be 4 days of rest.
Right,
now,
4 days.
This is where it gets important.
Right, we'll get a look at it right here. 66 plus pitches, you need 4 days rest. Keep in mind, this tournament ends on Sunday. So if Casanova would have got 66 plus, he wouldn't have been available for a potential Sunday game. So there's a lot of strategy going on here.
Yeah, this is when you're going to start seeing moves like that, because we get later on in the tournament. You want to make sure your best pitchers are available. And Alvarado puts down Kim looking. The first batter he faces. 1 down.
Well, it's just some gas on the outside part. And Sam mentioned the arm strength that Alvarado showed us when he threw out the runner at home. This is just a pellet on the outside part. But all that said, you have that strategy. But the most important thing is you need to win. You have to win today. And throughout the history of baseball, in tournaments, in postseason, from the College World Series all the way down to the Little League, we've seen pitchers.
Hard hit ball to center field. Casanova playing center now. It's over his head. Back to the fence. Jihan Lee has a stand-up double. Tying run in scoring position for South Korea. Lee has a 2-hit game, a single and a double, his 2 times up.
This ball was up in the zone, but smoked by Jihan Lee. This ball is up. It's a great job of hitting by Jihan Lee. You got to cover top of the zone to hit this pitch. Casanova picks it up, gets it back in quickly, but there's the tying run we're looking at right now for South Korea.
So Jun Choi, a swing and a miss on the first one, a single his first time. Talking pregame with Il Nam Lee, the manager for South Korea, he said that big credit to these kids' strength. There's a bouncer up the middle. Second baseman Sepulveda can't get it. It sneaks into center field. South Korea ties the ball game. Choi gets to second base. He brings in Lee, and it's 1-1. Sepulveda, who had such a spectacular defensive play a few days ago, just can't catch up to this one.
Well, there are times you should slide to catch a baseball, and this is not one of them. You need to move to try to get yourself in front of this ball, because if it does take a bad hop, you keep it in front of you. And when you try to slide and backhand a ball, you take the risk that it might take a bad hop, and that's exactly what happened. Didn't take long for South Korea to tie this game up.
Sung-Hoo Kim bunts one up and foul. He had what we thought was the sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. That was called back for a balk. And then he went down on strikes, bunting one foul.
That was a long ordeal, wasn't it?
It was, but we got it sorted out. He's down 0-2 again. Here's the pitch from Alvarado. Jams him and he fouls it back. An immediate response from South Korea. West Seoul A Little League, a team that has been very familiar here in Livermore. Oh, 0-2. Off goes the runner, swing and a miss, strike 3, throw down to third. Choi beats it, but the second out of the inning comes on a strikeout to Kim.
Well, we'll get a look at the runner. He's taken off. Takes a look, so he knows he's going to have to get down. Good effort, good throw from Ortiz, Puerto Rico catcher.
Ji-Hoon Shin with a single today, trying to give South Korea their first lead. He hits it the other way up the line, but foul. And watch out, Bill Nail down the first base line. There's your photographer of the tournament. And I got to say, a lot of the prep that we get is credit to that man right there. He's got a great website that has historical facts about the tournament. Everything you need is.
Right now, he's wishing he had a beach chair.
He's out there for every game. 2-strike pitch. Shin gets jammed. Fouls that up and over us.
Boy, that's an understatement. Jammed. The ball looked like it could have hit him.
Now you start hearing the South Korea faithful. 0-2. Popped up. And one of them made the catch. Alvarado got it. The pitcher makes the play over Ortiz. And that concludes the top of the 5th. South Korea gets first pitch fired in for a strike. Hyunjin Kim still on the mound. 4 one-run innings for South Korea, 4 strikeouts. And he's one pitch away from 60. So we'll see if South Korea does what Puerto Rico did as far as the pitch count and not have Kim go over 66. Breaking ball hit foul.
Well, we did learn that 66 has an asterisk, because you can start, if you start a hitter before 66, you qualify for the under 66.
Pitch count starts at the first pitch to the batter.
Correct. And you could literally throw 76, 10, 11 pitch at bat.
It's 2-2 on Ortiz, who popped up to short his first time. Two and two. A long wait from Kim. Foul back. Compare the miles to get here for South Korea. 5,654 miles to Livermore. 2-2. Ball three in the dirt.
Or is this a key pitch? Key pitch for Kim and South Korea and Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico 3,600 miles away from home. There's the sign. Full count. Ortiz works a leadoff walk. Just the second free pass given up by Kim today. He's at 64 pitches. You see he gives a little look over at the dugout. Yabdiel Laboy is the only other walk that Kim's given up, and he's up now.
See what happens. See what Puerto Rico does. Are they going to try to bunt Ortiz over to second? Or are they going to let Laboy swing the bat?
Laboy puts it down. It goes back to Kim. He spins around and gets it in time to first. Sacrifice bunt for Laboy. Puerto Rico moves a runner into scoring position.
Well, there's good on both sides when you take a look at this. Took one pitch from Kim, so he's below the 66 pitch limit, and a real good bunt by Laboy to move his teammate up to second base to go ahead and run now at second base. And allows Kim to stay out on the mound if South Korea was thinking about taking him out because of the pitch limit.
Quick reflexes by Kim and West throughout this tournament. We've seen some pitchers really struggle with that play, but they've been on it in this game with a few bunts being laid down. Sepulveda, the new batter, a strikeout looking his first time. Pitch number 66 will have to wait.
Can't tell it's a big game, can you?
Oh, yeah. That'll bounce away from the catcher. Ortiz to third.
Real good base running by Ortiz. Goes from second to third, reads the ball in the dirt. It's going to force South Korea to play the infield in. Now this brings in many possibilities from Puerto Rico. Could they squeeze bunt right here?
Time called.
We're going to talk about it, is my guess.
Il Nam Lee, the manager for South Korea, looking to get them back in the international championship game where they missed out on last year.
I tell you what, it's interesting because most of the time you see a coach come out, you see all the infielders go over there. This right here is a conversation between a pitcher and catcher on how they're going to go at this next hitter and what to do if his teammates scream squeeze. If the hitter is going to squeeze bunt, if you can hear it, a pitcher instinctively can throw the ball up and high in the zone. But this was a conversation between a catcher and a pitcher and a skipper.
Sepulveda had 2 hits in Puerto Rico's first game against Czechia.
And a possible pitch out as well could be a factor here.
It's 1-0 with the infield in. Wow. Swing away and foul it back. Right on that fastball from Kim.
What a good swing by Solario. Wow.
South Korean infield on the grass. A ball and a strike. Sepulveda watches low and away. Ball 2. Ortiz anxious over at third base, 70 feet away from giving the lead back to Puerto Rico.
Pretty quiet on both stands right now. Everybody's tense.
Yeah, it's been like that all game.
Good breaking pitch. Real good slider from Kim. We haven't seen many today, but this one is at a great time and a great location. Solero didn't like it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit hard. Sepulveda will give Puerto Rico the lead. Ortiz in from third. It's an RBI single. 2-1. A rocket over the infield, and Puerto Rico is back in front.
This is just a great job of hitting by Sepulveda. This ball is up. He doesn't miss it. And when you think back to how South Korea tied the game up when Sepulveda slid and tried to backhand.
The new pitcher for South Korea. After Sepulveda rips an RBI single and puts Puerto Rico back to the point, Shin will take over the game after Hyunjin Kim. 4 1/3 innings, 1 earned run, or 2 I should say, a couple of walks, and he strikes out 4. 1 out and 1 on. And the new batter, Marcos Solorio.
Number 21, Marcos
Sepulveda takes off at first pitch.
Now they'll check on him. South Korea feeling it. Puerto Rico's been caught on the bases once in this game. It was in the opening frame. Couple of pickoff moves. Sepulveda stays put. First pitch upstairs.
Sepulveda doesn't have a big lead at all, and he was actually flinching going back to first base when Shin went to the plate. He was there. See him leaning? Yep. Look at Sepulveda. He's like, come on. Come on. I can't figure this move out. But literally, he just fell over. He doesn't have a big lead at all. Now he's extended a little bit more.
He's been clapping over there at first base, really active. He stays put again. Another pitch up high. Shin was an extra hitter. He came in and was going to play third for a brief period when Cho went down with the injury, but he came back. Another one misses.
Let's save your scorebook and everybody's scorebook. You were going to have to make about 5 different changes. Cho came out of the game.
They were moving their infield totally around, and then Cho was able to come back. 3 balls, no strikes on Solorio. There's a much needed strike from Shin. Puerto Rico scored the game's first run in the bottom of the 4th. South Korea tied it up in the top half of this inning. Now Puerto Rico scores again. Another pickoff. Solorio works a walk. And it's 2 on with 1 away for Puerto Rico. The misses for Shin so far have been upstairs.
Now batting for Puerto Rico, number 17,
Adrian Morales with a single his first time up. Will step back in on Shin. First time he's faced him this afternoon. Big lead for Sepulveda off second, and that causes Shin to step off the mound.
It is interesting where South Korea is playing their defense. The first baseman Kim is on the grass with first and second and 1 out.
Morales takes a strike on the inner half. Winner of this game goes on to the International Championship. The loser will take on Aruba tomorrow at 3 o'clock Pacific time. The winner of that game will face the winner of this game in the International Championship. One pitch is up and away. A ball and a strike on Morales, and Sepulveda is really active at second base.
Well,
got about halfway to third.
There's a lot going on here on both ends. Kim, the first baseman, is playing on the grass. He initiated the previous pick at second by darting back to first.
And now Morales goes ahead 2-1. He knew that was a ball. Takes his head over at our home plate umpire.
Beautiful. That's just like,
Sepulveda leaps off of second base. A swing and a miss on Morales. Cho, the shortstop, is having to move quite a bit to get behind Sepulveda, and then right before the pitch is thrown, he's got to cover that hole.
Yeah, he's getting his aerobic work in right now just in this one at bat. He's going back and forth. Now you have Kim at first, who's in.
Now Sepulveda takes off. The throw goes to third base, and he's caught. The tag is put on. Sepulveda's out. Solorio stayed at first base. There's the second out of the inning. Sepulveda getting a little too comfortable.
Boy, I'll tell you what. There are times when you can run yourself out of an inning, and this is Sepulveda right here. He was just taking a chance. But Shin, give him credit. The pitcher on the mound for South Korea, all they said, his teammates, was step off, and he did without balking, and they get a big, huge second out.
Now a full count. This inning completely changes from 2 on and 1 out. Now 2 outs, a 2-strike count, and just 1 on. There's Solorio on first. Now they'll look over at him. Second time that Puerto Rico's been caught on the bases today. Payoff pitch on Morales. It's a foul with 2 outs. Solorio taking off.
We're not done with interesting baseball today. You know we're going to have about 3 other plays that we've never seen before.
Now it's still the bottom of the 5th.
2 reviews left for Puerto Rico. South Korea out of their opportunities to review unless it goes extra inning.
There goes Solorio. 3-2, curves in for a called strike 3. Shin gets out of the inning. Puerto Rico scores 1. They're back in front. We're through 5. Winner to the International Championship game.
South Korea advantage. They're at the top of the lineup. They have 6 more outs. And this is exactly where they want to be. Excuse me, 5 more outs.
With 1 out batting for Asia Pacific, number 18,
Min Soo Kim has been taken care of. The leadoff man who came in with 3 hits in this tournament, including a home run, has been struck out looking twice. Grounds the first pitch foul.
You just got to look at Sebastian Colon, that shortstop for Puerto Rico. He's been really active in the field. We thought he was involved in a controversial play, and he had nothing to do with it. We were wrong. Possible interference and a runner.
We just got a few extra looks at that one while the attention was elsewhere.
He might have went.
That was a check swing by Kim. He holds it up for ball 1. High pitch by Alvarado.
Did they check?
I didn't see an appeal over to first.
I know. He might have went. I don't know why they didn't. Yeah, there you go. All they got to do is ask.
Inning and a third of relief for Alvarado. That ball is hammered out to deep left. Santana makes the catch up by the fence. What a grab.
This ball is hit on the button by Kim, and we talked in the open about South Korea's ability to hit the ball hard and out of the yard. They hit 2 home runs in their first game against Australia. This ball is hit on a button. How about Santana in left field running this thing down? And be remiss if we didn't mention the flags. The wind is blowing dead in from left.
A leap out and left, and Santana grabs the second out of the inning. First pitch up and in. It's plays like that that are going to put the winner of today's game in the international championship. It's been tight all the way through. Hard hit ground ball to short. Colon grabs it. A diving head first slide into first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Puerto Rico. South Korea goes down in order. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. Final chance for Puerto Rico to put some touches on their lead.